You know that feeling, right? When you read the very first page of a book and you just know you're hooked? Well, today we're going to tear apart an opening just like that. We're going to see exactly how an author can work their magic, building incredible suspense and character right from the jump.
So this is how it all starts. No big scene, no witty dialogue, just one sentence. One sentence from a diary, and it is absolutely chilling. I mean, it just grabs you, right? You're immediately asking questions, filled with this pure unexplained dread.
All right, so we're starting with a morning of dread. And it's such a smart move, you know? Instead of some big action sequence, we start inside a character's head. It's all about this internal feeling, this premonition. And because of that, we're instantly connected to her state of mind, this fear that doesn't even make sense yet. And look at the details here. It's not just, oh, I'm a little worried. No way. She's awake at 5:30 in the morning. She feels completely lost. Get this, her own home feels like a lie. It's this deep, deep sense of not belonging, plus that creepy feeling of being watched. That's what turns a simple worry into genuine terror. Okay, so let's zoom in on our protagonist, Elena, the girl who has everything, because this is where things get really interesting. The author sets up this huge contrast that's going to be the core of her character, this massive gap between who she is on the inside and who everyone thinks she is. And boom, here it is, laid out for us, the two Elenas. On the one hand, you've got the image she projects, cool and blonde, the fashion trendsetter. But underneath, that's where the fear is. She's awake and scared, feeling so utterly and completely lost. This right here is what makes a character pop. Someone who's fighting themselves is always going to be more compelling than someone who's got it all figured out. This conflict is what drives her entire story. And this quote, this is so important. Since when had she, Elena Gilbert, been scared of anything? It tells you everything you need to know. This feeling, it's brand new. This is a girl who's always been fearless, always in control, and now she's scared of what exactly? She doesn't even know. And that's what's completely shaking her to her core. All right, let's hit pause on Elena for a second and switch over to our other main character, Stefan, the hunter in the shadows. What's so brilliant here is how the author uses the exact same technique, this idea of contrast, to introduce him. We're getting these two parallel stories right from the start. So how do we meet Stefan? Well, at first glance, he's just a normal guy. In jeans and a t-shirt, he looks like any other high school student you'd see. The author is totally setting us up here, making us think we know what we're looking at. But then, we get this. He wasn't. Just 2 words. That's it. And with that, the whole picture shatters. The rug is just completely pulled out from under you. It's so simple, but man, is it effective. And here's the reality check. He's not just taking a walk in the woods. He's out there to feed. He literally just killed a rabbit. He's a predator. And what's more, he's actually scared of his own hunger. He has to carefully clean up afterwards to keep up his masquerade. The difference between this and that normal high school student we just saw, it's huge, and it's what makes him so fascinating. And you see the parallel, right? Just like Elena, Stefan's whole deal is this internal battle. He's tired of living in shadows, tired of being alone. That feeling echoes Elena's own sense of being out of place. They're both completely isolated in their own ways, just wishing they could fit in somewhere. So you've got these two characters, two separate worlds, both feeling lost. So how do you bring them together? Well, the author does it in this really clever, really unsettling way, with one single shared symbol. And that connecting thread, it's a crow. Just a simple, mysterious crow. But it's so much more than a bird, right? It's the bridge that connects Elena's seemingly normal life with Stefan's world of shadows and secrets. Okay, so first, let's look at it from Elena's point of view. For her, this crow feels like a violation. It's looking at her the way boys looked at her, like it's undressing her with its eyes. It turns this bird into a creepy peeping Tom, reinforcing that awful feeling she has of being watched. But then we switch to Stefan's perspective, and for him, it's something completely different. He senses a wrongness about it, something supernatural. He sees it as sinister and triumphant. So think about that. It's the exact same crow, but they both see it as this terrifying omen, just in very different ways. And right there, that shared omen links their destinies before they've even laid eyes on each other. So it makes you wonder, right? what in the world does this all mean for their futures?
So, let's step back and look at the big picture. This is the art of foreshadowing. What we're really seeing is just an expert at work, weaving all these little threads together into something that's way more powerful and suspenseful than the sum of its parts.
I mean, you can practically break it down into a recipe for suspense. Step 1, establish that feeling of dread right from the get-go. Step 2, create characters who are torn in two. Step 3, run their stories in parallel. And Step 4, use a symbolic link to tie it all together. It's a killer formula for getting a reader completely hooked. And this brings us to the real genius of it all. It creates what's called dramatic irony. Because we see everything. We see Elena's fear, we see Stefan's secret, we see the crow connecting them. We know they're on a collision course, but they are totally oblivious. And that gap between what we know and what they don't, that's where all the tension comes from. So, I want to leave you with this question to think about. How does knowing more than the characters themselves change the way you experience a story? When you're in on the secret, does it make it better, more intense? It's such a powerful storytelling trick, and in this opening, it's absolutely the key to its success.